Hi guys, it's Robin, the Lady Biker. How is everyone doing today? Well, I'm back in the garage again today because I am in the process of modifying our camp, what we take on in our camp gear, because Allie and I have made the decision here last minute to not plan one, but two more camping trips before the end of the year. And so I thought I would sit down today and share with you a few of the things that we are doing to help prepare for camping, moto camping in cold weather. All right, so as I said in the introduction, guys, Allie and I decided very last minute we were already planning on one, but we decided, no, let's go and plan one more. So we have two more moto camping trips here coming into the end of the year. Probably our last ones of 2021, not so much because of weather, but because coming into the holiday season, we're making a trip back to Texas to see our kids and to see family. But, you know, we're going to try and squeeze in just a little bit more fun. So the first one we're going to do is just a little bit north of here in Santa Margarita, California. And it's going to allow us to ride in just a gorgeous area. Going to check out, hopefully connect with some other motovloggers and be able to bring that to you on a future video. But then our other big one, we're going into Arizona. And we're going to be camping in some higher elevations. And we're having to watch the weather because we're trying to get this last one in over Thanksgiving weekend where we can hopefully miss the first true winter storms and miss the snowfalls. So crossing our fingers on that one. But to camp in these colder temperatures, you really have to have great gear, and you have to pack a few extra things as far as not only for your camp, but for your clothing to be able to ride and camp in these colder temperatures. So I thought I'd talk about a few of those today, the ones that we're taking along, and then also get some feedback from some of y'all. So number one thing that we found, you have to invest in good gear. Really, really good gear. Now, there's a few things that you can get away with going a little less expensive. In my opinion, three of them that you should invest good money in are your tent, your sleep pad, or your sleeping mattress, and your sleeping bag. Now, the tent that we have, that Allie and I have, and we have the 2-person tent for when we camp single, and we have the 4-person tent for when we're camping together, is from Marmont, I believe, and it's the tungsten. Now this one you can go with, it's got a netting inside, so you can go with that whole netting off and sleep topless whenever you're in warm temperatures, and it's a stargazer, so it allows you to just really see the entire sky above you while being inside a mesh enclosure. Or you can put the fly over it, and the way the fly is designed, now it's not going to keep you cold in like Arctic camping conditions or keep you warm, but it does do a really, really great job whenever you've got it cinched down tightly, that whenever the body heat in the tent and the lanterns, anything like that, it will hold heat better than some other ones that we've tried in the past that were of lesser quality, cheaper investment. This paying for the tent was so worth it. The next thing is your sleep pad, because if you don't get a good night's sleep, it just makes the whole trip a little bit more miserable. So what we invested in is the REI Camp Dreamer. Now this one has an R rating, and if you don't know much about R ratings, I'll see if I can find a information site, and I'll put that link down into the description. But the R rating, the better the R rating, the more insulation that your sleep pad has. Now, the pads that we have are an R rating of 3, so they're kind of a mid-grade. So they're really good for a wide variety of camping conditions. They hold body heat fairly well, but because it's also like 4 inches thick, it does slow down the heat transfer from the cold ground. Now, something else we did, and I believe it was Amanda Zito of As the Magpie Flies that mentioned this. She mentioned taking a yoga mat. Now, in warmer temperatures, we put that yoga mat just inside the tent to give us something to kneel on, because it helps protect your knees. I think I talked about that in one of my previous videos. However, when we're sleeping and the temperatures we know are going to be in the 30s or 40s overnight, we will slide that yoga mat fully up underneath the sleep pad. So it just gives you an extra thermal layer to slow down how fast the temperature from the cold ground works its way through the pad or into the pad. But oh my gosh, sleeping bag. Have to have a good sleeping bag. Now the ones we have from Nemo, which they're the Nemo Disco, and they're rated to, I believe, like 15 degrees, which means they should keep you comfortable into about 30 degrees. Now, I don't have a thyroid, guys. Lost it many years ago. That's a whole other video. And I get cold a lot sooner than pretty much anyone else. I run about 10 to 15 degrees colder than anyone else. So having an extra blanket that you can wrap up in and then get into your sleeping bag when the temperatures are getting down into the 40s and the 30s is really important. Now, you can say what you want. This is another one that we invested a little bit of money in. Not too bad because we got these at Costco, but they're Eddie Bauer. And they're like a 60 by 70, so they're a big blanket, but because of how they are constructed, they pack down really, really small. So we pack these. Now, Allie almost never uses his. I use mine a lot. But you can wrap up in your blanket and then get inside your sleeping bag, and that just gives you another thermal layer. So as far as your camp gear, those are the things that we use. The next big thing that you have to look at is layers. Lots and lots of layers. Because you are going to, depending on what you're doing, if you're moving around a lot, you could get a little warmer and you're going to need to shed a layer to keep you from sweating. But one of the best things that we have found, and this was a Costco find for us, but you can also find them on Amazon, and I'll try to put a link down into the description, but Thinsulets. These thermal base layers are amazing, and the ones we've got are 32 degree heat because they're thin, so they pack down really small, because when you're packing to moto camp, space is a premium. So we like those because they save space, but they're also very, very good at holding the body heat next to the body. So they're a great base layer to layer a t-shirt and then a thermal and then a jacket. So the more layers you can have, the better, because then you have a better control of your body temperature. And for those of us that struggle with that, that's a huge thing. That's why I also have gloves and a hat and probably pack a scarf for these next two as well. Just because we know when we go to Arizona, their fire ban where we're going to be has been lifted, but when we go to Santa Margarita, the fire ban may still be in effect, so we may not have the ability to have a campfire to help keep us warm. So layers are important, guys. So you have to layer. So great camp gear, pack lots of layers. And then the third one is, if you have any heated gear, take it. Oh, definitely take it, because you never know whenever it is going to turn really, really cold. And if you're riding in the mornings or after the sun has gone down, having the extra thermal layer or that heated layer can really make a difference whenever you're trying to take the edge off. So guys, that's our recommendations. Investing in good gear. We're modifying our camp pack with a few extra things, like we're packing our extra blanket, we're packing additional layers. I know these are a lot of things that some people sit back and go, oh duh, those are common sense. But you would be surprised how when we're out camping and when we're out riding, once the body gets chilled, it's hard to warm it back up. So being proactive to keep yourself warm is critical. And it makes for the whole experience to be a lot more enjoyable. So those are my recommendations. So my question for all of you out there is, for those of you that camp or moto camp in colder weather, what things do you take when you know you're going into a situation where the temperatures are going to be colder than normal? What modifications do you make to your camp gear? Do you add anything additional to your camp kitchen? What layers do you take? I mean, I know I'm taking not only my thermals, but long sleeves, my Duluth Trading Company, which I love their flannels, by the way. You know, I'm going to be taking all different kinds of layers, even over pants for whenever we're riding. Ooh, and I got new gloves to test. I'll have to show you all in a future video. So I know those are the things I'm doing. What do you take? What are the things that you modify? What are the things that you throw into your bag? So I'm starting to ramble, so I'm going to shut it down now. Besides, I kind of want to plan a ride here maybe before the day gets, because it's a gorgeous day out there. Anyway, guys, so with that being said, I'm going to get out and ride. I hope you do too. Get out and ride. Have fun. Be safe. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Bye.